Hi, my name is Allison Grow, and I am going to be showing you my personal teaching philosophy today. Okay, so first page here we've got our philosophers. I consider myself to be a medium control teacher, and then we've got this little flip chart of the teacher's roles and the students' roles. So under the philosophers, I have William Glasser, Mendler, and Barbara Coloroso. The first two are really like medium control type of philosophers. Um, Coloroso, she's more on the low control side, but I feel like I identify a lot with some of the higher control and some of the lower control, as well as like a lot of the medium control. So I think it all just kind of balances out somewhere into medium control. Under that, I really believe that students should have a say and should take an active role in their classroom and in their learning and education experience. Um, and so I want them to be a part of like setting our classroom rules and expectations, and we can have meetings and discussions as a class. And if there are any misbehaviors, that I can meet individually one-on-one with the student and carry out an action plan so that they can fix those bad behaviors, but also to recognize why we didn't want those behaviors in our classroom in the first place. Um, Under teacher role, just going along with that, I really see a teacher as someone who motivates their students, who pushes them to become better, who encourages them, who is a mediator during conflicts and resolves conflicts and designs interesting lessons and is just really creative in coming up with those solutions that will help their students to succeed. And then under student role, um, I really want my students to be able to contribute to their class, um, and I want them to recognize when they've done something wrong and not be afraid to apologize for that kind of thing. And as well as along with my role of encouraging students, I want them to take on that role in encouraging one another. I want them to be good team players because that is something that they're going to have to do for the rest of their lives and in the workforce. Along with a medium control classroom, I think it's important to have a democratic classroom. I think that goes along really well with that medium control model, um, and can be adapted to any other model, really. Um, I really like that kids have a purpose in their classroom with their class jobs and that they take real responsibility for the way that their classroom is running. So I really love the idea of a democratic class and having class meetings and that they can talk about the concerns that they have in the classroom. This next page is about motivations. We've got intrinsic and extrinsic. Um, and I think that these kind of will blend together. I think maybe it might start out more extrinsically motivated. We might have to um, kind of bribe our students a little bit to do the things that we want them to do. But then I believe that eventually they will understand the purpose of why they're doing what they're doing, besides like just having a pizza party or getting extra points or extra time at recess. Um, and they will really be able to become intrinsically motivated as they are doing the things that we ask them and realizing that they really like learning about math and they really like books about horses or cars or something like that. And um, then their motivation moves more towards intrinsic, where they find joy and pride in their work and in learning something new. So some of the examples that I already said like a pizza party or extra time at recess being one of the some of the extrinsic rewards. But I think some intrinsic rewards would include giving them autonomy, and that would encourage them to be intrinsically motivated if they get to choose what they want to learn, what they want to read about, what they want to work on. Um, and then having lessons that are more tailored towards their interests and something that they really like to do. So if we have a student that's obsessed with basketball, then we can tailor our math lesson to include some basketball statistics or something like that. Um, and then another way that I was thinking that we could um, encourage our students to be intrinsically motivated like we want them to is to give them opportunity to share what they've learned and to really take pride in their work and explain to someone else why it was important to them and why they wanted to do what they did. So that's our motivation page. If we flip this open, we've got our PowerPoint about classroom rules. And like I said earlier, I want my kids to be involved in creating the classroom rules at the beginning of the year. Um, we've got the classroom discussion, we've got consequences of breaking rules, and then different procedures here because we all know how important it is to have procedures and to make those clear to our students so that our classroom will run smoothly. Yes. Okay. And so this next page is our interventions. So sometimes if those procedures don't work out as well as we would like them to, we have to intervene and correct and make sure that our classroom does run as well as we'd like them to. So I've got my scale here of mild to severe behaviors in the classroom that we want to correct. Some of them require just situational assistance, like standing near them or taking away a distraction. Some might take a mild response of taking time away from recess um, or seating them in a different area in the classroom. And some may require a more moderate response, such as a phone call home to a parent or a visit to the principal's office. And then we've got all sorts of different ways to respond in our little flip chart here. Along with that, my statement about bullying is that it's not going to be tolerated in my classroom. I think we've have so many issues facing our society today that could be lessened or solved just by starting with not bullying. So because it won't be tolerated in our classroom, there are things that we need to do so that we can identify it, so that we can prevent it, and so that an observer, if they see it, they can stop it. Okay, so that is that page. And then here, I've got my classroom layout. And I've got another little flip chart with just explanations of why I decided to put things where I did. I wanted the kids to have enough room to work and to move around their tables, obviously. And then I've got stations where I can be here at my teacher's desk and watch over them at their desks as they're working. And then during like independent reading time, they're here in this little reading nook, and then I can be at this kidney table instructing small group lessons and little small reading groups, but also still be observing the kids because we know that sometimes they might run a little wild. So that is my teaching philosophy. I have thought about it a lot, and I am grateful for this class that it helped me to really think about that and to think of concrete examples of what I can do to run my classroom. So thanks for watching.